be the deep man for North Carolina. 48 degrees as we kick it off. Light breezes, north-northwest. And the humidity at 40%. A perfect day for college football as we play for the victory bell. North Carolina and Duke. Ratliff Williams will watch it bounce in the end zone. There will be no return. Here are the Food Line impact players, and we'll start with North Carolina.
Well, he'll affect the game in so many ways. Michael Carter, you see, averaging almost 7 yards a carry, but he's also a valid receiver. He's a guy that'd like to get the ball in space. He creates major problems because he's got great speed. Defensively, one of those guys that'll be shadowing Michael Carter is Ben Humphreys, big-time linebacker. The senior's been here and played in a ton of games. Missing his running mate at linebacker in Joe Giles Harris, so they'll have to try to fill in with a multitude of linebackers.
Joe Giles Harris, 81 tackles to lead the team this season. North Carolina goes to the ground with Michael Carter near first down yardage as he blasts past the 35-yard line, and the sticks are going to move. McDuffie had to make the tackle, and he got 11.
Well, immediately our Food Line impact player Michael Carter affects the game. His ability to get out on the edge. They love Carter in space, has great speed. See Nathan Elliott's yards per game, 7th in the ACC.
1st and 5 for North Carolina from the shotgun. They run it with Carter. He might be very close to another first down beyond that 45-yard line. They got about 4 or 5 on the play as Trayvon McSwain made the tackle for Duke.
A good hard running by Carter. 5'9", only 195 pounds, but runs with some power between the tackles. He's not just a space guy. He'll run it right at you.
It'll be 2nd and inches. North Carolina with its 1-7 record, 1-5 in conference play. They go around the edge with Antonio Williams. Duke's side of the field, inside the 45. A first down and more as Tangelo made the tackle after a 12-yard gain.
Well, good to see Antonio Williams on the field for North Carolina. One of the many guys for both these teams that's banged up, but he's done an outstanding job since transferring from Ohio State. Carried the ball 85 times. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry himself. So North Carolina, albeit their record, 1-7, they've got some playmakers offensively.
Carter took that direct snap and went to the right side near the 40-yard line and got 3.
Takes some talent now at the center position. You got to remember who you're snapping the ball to. This is a direct snap to Carter, who's kind of sidecard left of Nathan Elliott there. Nice job by Jonathan Troll playing center to get the ball to the right guy.
Yeah, he's in for the injured J.J. McCargo at that center position for North Carolina. This pass is complete near the 30-yard line. It's Vargas who put the shoulder pads down and got 9.
A lot of different looks from Chris Kabilovic, the offensive coordinator here. Just a play fake, get Vargas the ball in the flat, quick, easy throw for Nathan Elliott, and another really good first down play.
6th catch of the season for Vargas, down to the 30-yard line and a first down for North Carolina, moving the ball effectively early stages of the first quarter. Nathan Elliott, the junior from Salina, Texas. This is Carter now, right side. He's got some room, turns the corner. First down inside the 20 and near the 15. Forced out by Marquise Waters. 16 yards, Michael Carter.
A lot of different looks. Here's just a quick option. Watch Vargas, 80, get the block out in front for Michael Carter, and then the great speed to turn the corner and push it inside the red zone.
Here is our red zone, brought to you by CPI Security, the official security partner of the ACC. The numbers for North Carolina this season in the red zone. They're going to try the left side, turn the corner to the end zone. Anthony Ratliff Williams, and a touchdown for the Heels on their first possession.
Well, Anthony Ratliff Williams steps in at the quarterback spot. A little triangle look in the backfield, little ride fake there, and now you got 2 blockers out in front. Did an excellent job. We talked about Ratliff Williams off the top. He affects the game so many ways. He doesn't just catch the ball. He returns kicks, but he also runs it extremely well. And Ratliff Williams, one of those opportunities to get him the football.
First rushing touchdown of the season. He went 13 yards for the TD. Freeman Jones adds the extra point. 7-0 Tar Heels. The 105th all-time meeting in this rivalry. And North Carolina striking first. And here's the Food Line impact players. We start with Duke.
There's a lot of playmakers, but down near the goal lane, Davis Copenhaver has been outstanding. Just 10 catches, but 5 for touchdowns. The guy affects it extremely at a high level. And Cole Holcomb, the leading tackler on this team, sideline to sideline linebacker.
22 tackles last week against Georgia Tech for Holcomb. That pass up for grabs and incomplete. Jonathan Lloyd lost his helmet in the process, and it's incomplete.
And a good play by Corey Bell, the senior. They've had a lot of injury at corner. Corey Bell, number 18, going to elevate, and he'd be the first guy to tell you should have picked it off, but a nice job to deflect the football. Well thrown ball, maybe a tad behind, but a good job of playing the football by Corey Bell.
Daniel Jones, 6'5", 220, and a junior. Throws it over the middle. Complete. Big hit. Chris Taylor hangs on. And there's some post-whistle discussion after 13 yards.
Well, what a nice catch by Chris Taylor. He knows he's going to take a shot at the back end of this little RPO. Get it out, and here comes Miles Dorn to drop the hammer. Taylor right back up in his face. Hey, it's rivalry week, man. I'm expecting it.
Miles Dorn, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Vance High School. Ramming has the football. There is no gain. Back to the line of scrimmage. Ran into Malik Carney, number 53 in Carolina Blue.
Now, Daniel Jones has been through it this year. Broke his collarbone. Was out for a couple of games, but Duke didn't miss a beat. They had Quentin Harris came in and played well. But this is one of the better passers and managers of the game. Guy does an outstanding job playing quarterback at Duke.
33rd career start for Daniel Jones. He'll keep the football and get 5. Patrice Rene making the play for North Carolina. Daniel Jones from Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Latin High School. Soft-spoken, but not once they kick it off. A different guy and a leader out there, Dave.
His ability to run the ball is a little bit deceptive. Doesn't have great speed. He's a little gangly, but he steps out of a lot of tackles, and he did a good job there to keep it 3rd and medium.
3rd and 5, 39% on the season. In 3rd down situations for Duke, that is 10th in the ACC. Jones looks the other way. Has the pass complete. Along the sideline, Chris Taylor, who broke away. Taylor is going to go to the end zone. Touchdown for Taylor and Duke of 52 yards.
One-on-one on the outside for Chris Taylor, and he does an outstanding job of coming back to the ball. Jones wasn't initially looking that way, but gets the ball to the outside, and then he runs through the tackle of Corey Bell, and then the great speed to shove it in the end zone for the answer by Duke. But when you're one-on-one on the outside, you must make that one-on-one tackle. Bell was not able to make it. Chris Taylor, a couple of big plays. Had a nice catch with Dorn dropping the hammer on him. He makes a play on the back end of this drive.
Second receiving touchdown for Chris Taylor. And the 14th TD pass of the season for Daniel Jones as he found Taylor, who did the rest.
North Carolina scores on their drive. Duke comes right back and says, hey, we're even, baby. It's 7-7.
They've met every year since 1922. On this Veterans Day weekend, they renew the rivalry. Anthony Ratliff Williams tries to make a move at the 15 and is dropped just beyond there. 17 yards on the return. North Carolina in search of its first road victory of the season. The handoff to Carter, and he races past the 35-yard line, finally dragged down by Dylan Singleton. But Carter downshifting, and 19 yards later, he's got a first down.
This North Carolina offensive line's did an excellent job up front. Got Ben Humphries blocked again on that play as Humphries was coming off the edge, and Carter right in behind the block for the big game.
North Carolina averages 170 yards per game on the ground, 9th in the conference. They'll swing it out to Carter. He angles toward the marker and has yet another first down. Back-to-back plays, and the North Carolina offense in the first quarter, Dave, is humming along.
Well, this is a 4-2-5 defense, and so what they're doing is they're finding Humphries, the middle backer, and they're getting him blocked, and they're allowing their playmakers to get out on the edge. So Duke is going to have to rally and bring more people down in the box.
Antonio Williams at the 40 taken down, but that is 3 straight plays for first down yardage. 15 yards for Williams after the tackle by Singleton.
There's nobody setting the edge out here. See, there's no edge out here for Duke defensively, and so it's just running downhill every time, whether it's Antonio Williams or whether it's Michael Carter. They've got a lot of room on the perimeter. Nobody's setting the edge defensively in the run game for Duke.
Twice this season, Antonio Williams has gone over 100 yards rushing against Pittsburgh and Syracuse. This is Williams at the 40.
Now this time, Tom, they get the safeties down. This is something they're going to need to do, and this is something North Carolina can force you to do if they run it well, is you're going to bring the safeties down in. Dylan Singleton has to come up on the safety, from the safety position, to come up and force the play, and Chris Kapilovic, the offensive coordinator right there, is going to get some opportunities to throw the ball down the field if he can pull some of these defenders out of the middle of the field.
Carter inside the 20. Looking for the front end of the end zone, and Carter hits the pylon and scores. Michael Carter on the rush for North Carolina, and 40 yards later, he's got a score.
Well, once again, excellent job of blocking a front little trap. Carter right in behind it, and no one home. Waters has to rally to try to get a hand on Carter, but the great speed. We talked about Michael Carter off the top. Our Food Lion impact player, if he gets out in space, he is a home run threat.
He's got 6 rushes and 95 yards on the first 2 possessions for North Carolina. The extra point has a 14-7 lead.
A big weekend between North Carolina and Duke. We've had 3 series. We have 3 touchdowns. We'll be back after word from your local ACC stations.
Has won 23 of the last 28 meetings between the teams. Deion Jackson, bit of a misplay at the 11, finally scooped it up and makes his way up past the 20-yard line. Duke with its 6-3 record. Jones lets it go over the middle, caught. Jonathan Lloyd on the run near the 40. Lloyd tackled by Cole Holcomb, but he takes it into North Carolina territory to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, an excellent route. You see inside technique by the corner, so Lloyd's job on that in route is I've got to get to the inside shoulder of the corner for my quarterback. They tried to heat Jones up with pressure, came with a 6-man pressure, played man coverage in the back end. Excellent route by Lloyd, and a well-thrown ball by Daniel Jones.
34 yards on the catch and run by Lloyd. This is Deion Jackson inside the 30, and another first down for Duke, as they are moving the football just as well as North Carolina. And for more on Lloyd, down to Larisha.
Well, when I spoke with Jonathan Lloyd, he told me that he would like to describe himself as a selfless player. He said he doesn't always get the ball, which he doesn't mind that, but when he does, he tries to find a way to impact the team, whether it's blocking or running the routes to clear the ways for other guys.
46 games for Jonathan Lloyd. We talk about he and Raman, they're veteran guys that have contributed in so many different ways.
Jones keeps it, goes over the middle, open man, into the end zone, and a touchdown. Number 80 is Daniel Helm, and Duke is an extra point away from tying this game.
A little RPO fake, and Duke has rallied back to answer. The tight ends on this football team, Tom, it's unbelievable. It came in with 22 touchdown passes, and 7 had gone to the tight ends. This is Helm's second touchdown. Little RPO fake, drew the defenders up, and then in behind goes Helm, the tight end. Excellent throw by Jones to put it on his big tight end, and he coasts into the end zone.
Second TD catch of the season for Daniel Helm, the senior from Chatham, Illinois. And thanks to Colin Wareham, we are tied 14-all with 6:20 to go in the first quarter. And we'll be back after this word from North Carolina and Duke. And 5 plays, 77 yards in just a minute and 50 seconds. With a scoring drive for Duke to tie it at 14. Anthony Ratliff-Williams meets it and takes it up past the 25 and just short of the 30-yard line. 1 for 2 on third down in the game. Sling it out to the right to Newsome. He creates across midfield to the Duke side of the 50, and a first down for North Carolina. 14 yards on the play.
Once again, Vargas, as we see Newsome come up a little bit lame there after that catch, but Vargas, the tight end, is getting key blocks out in space and providing a lot of room on those outside swing throws.
Tempo for North Carolina. Jordan Brown. Tar Heels last Saturday, Dave, coming off of that loss against Georgia Tech, 38-28. They had come back to tie the game. 11th season for David Cutcliffe. There's a couple of co-defensive coordinators this year in Ben Albert and Matt Guerreri. Great conversation with Coach Albert yesterday in his 3rd year on the Duke staff. 2nd and 7 for North Carolina. Elliott flips it out to Jordan Brown. He's headed towards the first down marker near the 35-yard line. That's enough as Kwanzaa forced him out. And once again, Dave, the chatter continues.
Yeah, but you've got to set the edge in the run game. There's not enough defenders out here. So if this player does not set the edge, there's nobody out here for Duke to make the tackle. So if there's so much pressure on the defensive end for Duke right now to set the edge in the run game, if he doesn't get it done, there's not enough resources or not enough reinforcements over there to make the play.
North Carolina has already rushed for 144 yards in this first quarter as Anthony Ratliff-Williams made the catch. Brandon Feemster making the tackle. 5 seconds to go here in the first. We had touchdowns on the first 4 possessions, 2 for each team. That's going to do it for the first quarter. We're all tied at 14 as we play for the victory bell. Duke and North Carolina. Heels have the ball when we come back to Durham, North Carolina. Their campuses are separated by 8 miles. They've been playing one another since 1888. It is the series for the victory bell in the late 1940s, North Carolina and Duke. And the Blue Devils have won 2 in a row in the series, haven't won 3 in a row since the late 1980s, 87 to 89. You saw those old school programs. Awesome artwork depicting the history and tradition and the fabric of this rivalry, which runs across all sports. Today we feature these football programs from North Carolina and Duke, Dave Archer. Daz Newsome had that one a little bit behind him from Nathan Elliott, incomplete. Our first quarter stats brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery, celebrating 12 years, over $5.8 billion raised for education. To learn more, visit nclottery.org.
Now, North Carolina contemplated going forth there. As we take a look at our stats of the average yards per play. I mean, it's off the charts. From 8.4 for North Carolina, over 10 yards a play for Duke. It's really been an offensive game, but right now the defense is trying to create problems, and they did there. Good job of making a stop there for Duke on 3rd down.
Freeman Jones trying to tie his long from 49 yards away on the field goal attempt, and he bounced it off the pipe. Incomplete. Jones hits the right upright, and it is no good.
Look at this kick. Look, they had more than enough on the kick. Just a little bit wide, and doink. Right off the upright. So much of the chagrin of Larry Fedora.
Daniel Jones, the quarterback, couple of TD tosses in the first quarter, 52 yards and 26 yards. Jones over the middle. TJ ramming on the run. Ramming, carving his way down to the 10-yard line. TJ ramming, and Dorn made the tackle.
Well, veteran wide receiver against freshman defensive back. Morrison, the freshman, who I just sung his praises a little bit ago, ramming the veteran, beats him to the inside. And you see the run after the catch for TJ ramming, why he's in the top 5 all-time in yards receiving.
He got 49 yards on that catch, his second of the game, right into the line with Daniel Jones. Right into Malik Carney, the senior from Alexandria, Virginia, who leads this team in tackles for loss. Here's our red zone, brought to you by CPI Security, the official security partner of the ACC. Duke 9th in the conference in total red zone efficiency. Jones takes off inside the 5, fights his way near the 2-yard line for Daniel Jones, the junior quarterback. Jalen Dalton on the stop.
Excellent job by Cole Holcomb, the middle linebacker, blows up the block of Deion Jones or Deion Jackson to make the play and force 3rd down here. So remember, the tight ends down here are a big part of what they do in the passing game. We've already seen Helm catch a touchdown. Copenhagen has 5 touchdown receptions. Tight ends lined at the top of your screen there, tight right.
3 for 4 on 3rd down, 3rd and goal. Jones faked it and threw it, and a touchdown. Davis Copenhagen, the tight end. You called it, Dave Archer, and a score for Duke.
You got to pay attention to these big guys. They're outstanding pass catchers in short space. They love to get them the football. Got a little bit of rub route right here. Going to get a little rub coming in here. Tight end in the flat. Just get a little rub off right there. To the outside goes Copenhagen for the touchdown. His 6th of the year. Excellent design, excellent execution.
And the 3rd TD pass of the game for Daniel Jones. That's now 16 for the season. Wareham for the extra point.
Duke leans on a couple of veterans. TJ Ramming shoves it down inside the scoring zone. And then senior Davis Copenhagen caps it with his 6th touchdown of the year.
The battle for the victory bell, which began in 1948. North Carolina earning possession with a 20-0 win. Now that's an older tradition. They used to spray paint it right away immediately. They don't do that anymore, although the team that has possession covers the bell and the stand in the colors of the respective schools, all the way back to 1948. The tradition continues today. Here's Daz Newsome on the return. Can't get to the 20. Newsome. 3rd and 3. Nathan Elliott, the left-hander, has a wide open man for a first down. It's Carl Tucker past the 35-yard line.
Blown coverage by Duke. Tucker comes clean in the left flat. And a good job of seeing it by Elliott to get the ball out quickly to Tucker so he could get the first down.
11 yards on the pass play to Tucker. Lummy Young, the 4th, is in for Dylan Singleton on that back line and secondary for the Duke Blue Devils. Larry Fedora, 7th season, 15-21 on the road as the head coach of the Tar Heels.
Run.
Michael Carter up the middle of the field, falling forward past the 45 to the 47, and that looks like first down yardage after 11 from Michael Carter, the sophomore.
And Tom, we talk about Dylan Singleton being out. Lummy Young is the guy that had the opportunity for the tackle in the hole, and he missed it. So already Singleton, his loss being felt. Lummy Young has not played the last 2 weeks, has now been forced into duty at that safety spot, and has a missed tackle already on Carter.
114 yards in the game for Michael Carter, 4th time in his career over 100 yards rushing. Had a monster game against Virginia Tech this year, 165 yards on the ground and a career high. Nathan Elliott puts some air under it, a twisting attempt. Anthony Ratliff-Williams has it. And they mark him down to the 17, now the 16-yard line, and the play was 35 yards.
Excellent job adjusting the football. The ball needs to be down his stem or down the route, but the ball's thrown behind him a little bit, and an excellent adjustment by the junior receiver to squeeze it. We talked about it off the top. He's a guy they would like to see touch the football at least 10 times in the game. He's already got a touchdown and a big catch right there.
1 for 1 in the red zone for North Carolina. They go inside the 10 with Javonte Williams. Tar Heels have a touchdown in their previous trip inside the red zone. That's a first down. 1st and goal, North Carolina. 11 yards for Williams on the rush.
And the only way you can play with tempo is to get first downs. North Carolina did a nice job of that.
Down to the 2-yard line. That's Williams again, who got undercut and dropped after a 3-yard gain. Ben Humphreys comes up out of the pile.
This has been a good defense down in the red zone. Teams only scoring touchdowns at only 54% of the time. So they've done a nice job of forcing teams to settle for field goals. Coming in prior today, 24 trips by teams into their red zone. They only given up 13 touchdowns. Going to really have to bow their back here to keep North Carolina out.
2nd and goal for the Tar Heels. Inside of 10 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. To the end zone and a touchdown. Javonte Williams did the damage for North Carolina from 2 yards away.
Well, just an excellent job of North Carolina controlling the line of scrimmage. Watch their big guys come off and reestablish a line of scrimmage that's about the goal line. Boy, all those Duke defenders were driven back to the goal line by that big offensive line coming off the ball. Excellent block by Vargas again. Boy, give him an assist all day so far. He's done outstanding blocking on the perimeter and inside.
First TD rushing on the season for Williams, and we're tied at 21.
Well, Ratliff-Williams sets the table with a circus catch. And then the run game pounds it in behind that big offensive line, and we're even at 21.
Freeman Jones kicks it away, our 3rd tie of the game. As Williams scored for North Carolina from 2 yards out, his first rushing touchdown.
I mean, it's just been down the field passing. And really, the run game has been in the secondary most of the day as well. But you see the big-time plays, 195 yards passing for Duke, and we still got
Duke, which had struggled in third down situations this season, has only missed once so far in the game on third down. From a sturdy pocket, Ramming tried to adjust to the football at the 35-yard line, and here comes the penalty flag. Greg Ross was back there, number 35 in Carolina blue.
Now, this is the tough one when the ball is underthrown. Really tough for Ross. He's got to get his head around. That's the saving grace, is if you crane your head around to find the ball.
Pass interference, defense, number 39. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think he means number 35, Greg Ross. Let's take a look at this. Ross, as he get his head around to Loki, never really locates the football and kind of keeps Ramming from come to the inside. But boy, it's a little ticky-tack there. But because Ross didn't locate the ball, I think that was the ultimate deciding factor on why you throw the flag.
Junior from Jacksonville, Florida, flagged for the infraction. Ball at the 49 of North Carolina. First and 10, Duke and Daniel Jones. Jones, this is low at the 45-yard line. Deion Jackson. There was no whistle. I think Jackson thought he had hit his knee on the turf.
Well, I don't know why he stopped.
And he stopped.
As it turns out, so did the defender. So they both turned back and looked at the official, and neither would have. They wouldn't have blown dead. So then he said, "Okay, let's play." So he ends up getting 4 yards on the play.
2nd and 6 for Duke, and Archer's 2 for 2 on reviews today. Daniel Jones has a little bit of time. Can he use it down the sideline? Bounces away. Flag is out.
You got to look back. This is going to get called on Ross.
Pass interference, defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty, first down.
This is the tough part of the underthrown ball. See, Ross is not going to look back. He's going to run right in to Garner along the sidelines. He just never locates the football. So as the receiver tries to gear down to make the play, he's impeded by the defender to come back and get to the football, and that's where the flag comes. If Ross can just get his head around, I don't think he's going to get that call.
Jackson from the 30. Turns down the seam to the 20-yard line, and Jackson should have first down yardage. He got 10.
Now, Deion Jackson, a guy that they would like to get the ball to as many ways as they can. And he's become the bell cow, Tom. Coming into this game, he carried the ball 50 more times than anybody else. He was supposed to be sharing the dues with Britton Brown, but Britton Brown has been banged up. And so it's been Jackson.
A pass near the 15 is caught. 5 yards on the play to T.J. Ramming.
You know, talking to Cutcliffe yesterday, David said we like to share those duties. We got different backs that can carry the football, but in this situation, we've had to lean on Deion Jackson, the sophomore, and he's stepped up big time for him.
1 for 1 in the red zone with a touchdown. This is Ramming. And he is down to about the 8-yard line as Ramming makes catch number 4. Dave, that is now 17 straight games with 3 or more catches for Ramming.
Well, and Ramming is a good guy to go to down here because this veteran understanding how body position is going to be in tight coverages to make contested catches. But Jones is extremely sharp, Tom, throwing the ball right on the money.
1st and goal. This one is caught right at the 5. It's Trayvon Lee who makes the catch for 4 yards.
Duke using a ton of receivers here. There's John Papuchis, the defensive coordinator for North Carolina, just trying to find a way to get a stop. Eight different guys have caught the football. Now where you're trying to find Ramming, he's right down here at the bottom. Don't forget Daniel Jones running with the ball in the quarterback draw.
Jones gave it off to the goal line and a touchdown. Deion Jackson from 4 yards away, and Duke pulls in front of Carolina.
Now, once again, it looks like a block on the perimeter, and I think maybe Noah Gray, the tight end, is the guy that's going to get the block. Number 87, going to get the key block right there that allows Jackson to turn back to the inside. See, right here's your key block. That allows Jackson to kick it back to the inside. Noah Gray, we talked about the blocking by Vargas for North Carolina. Noah Gray, the tight end for Duke there, got a key block to allow Jackson to get in the end zone.
7th rushing touchdown of the season. Deion Jackson, that is the most for the Blue Devils this year. 28-21. Back in the day, North Carolina and Duke They've met every year since 1922. Trinity College for Duke back in the day and leading by 7. Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium opened up back in 1929. Named for Wallace Wade, the head coach from 1931 to 1950. 110 wins, the most in school history. And in 1942, they played the Rose Bowl right here at Wallace Wade Stadium. 28-21, Duke coming off of its impressive victory on the road against Miami last week. Their first since 1976, the first meeting between those two programs. 20-12 in the rain. Just past the 20-yard line on the return, 19 yards. Anthony Ratliff-Williams. Nathan Elliott, 7 of 11, 85 yards. Passing in the game. 1st and 5 after the infraction against the Blue Devils. Daz Newsome. Newsome races second level. This is Daz Newsome across midfield. Newsome with the race to the end zone, and he wins it for North Carolina. Daz Newsome.
Well, Daz Newsome is an explosive player. Now, here's where you have to set the edge, because North Carolina's been getting to the edge with no problem. Once again, the Duke crashes defensively. No one out there to turn the ball carrier back to the inside. And if there's one guy, if you're Duke, that you don't want in the open field, it's Daz Newsome. He's got great speed. He just shows it, and he shoves it in the end zone for North Carolina.
84 yards away. Daz Newsome goes the distance to the house for Newsome with 6:14 to go in the second quarter. Larry Fedora's team has tied this game up. First rushing TD of the season for Newsome. That is the longest play from scrimmage for North Carolina this year. And we are tied for the 4th time in the first half with 6:14 to go. As Newsome goes 84 yards. It's a one-play drive, 33 seconds, 28 all, North Carolina and Duke. There will be no return from Jackson on this kickoff.
Friday night of championship weekend, have a big Legends dinner. All those guys will be present. That is a who's who. That might be the finest list, and no defense to anybody else that's been a legend down through the years, but certainly that group. Unprecedented.
December 1st, Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. There are several scenarios, and we will discuss those as the game progresses.
Duke would like to try to pick up the pace here a little bit. A little surprised they ran it there on 1st down with less than 45 seconds to go.
30 seconds and counting for Daniel Jones. Pass right near midfield is incomplete. Looking for Jackson. Ross was right on his hip. Incomplete. 26 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter.
Both these teams play a version of a 4-2-5 defense. Now, Ross is a little bigger, but he's used to be a defensive back, so he's used to operating in space. Number 3 does a nice job there of making Jones throw the ball way out in front of Jackson. But those two are matched up down here, linebacker and running back.
3rd and 4. 7 of 9 on 3rd down. Daniel Jones up the middle. Jones continues to run. Jones inside the 10, and Daniel Jones takes it to the end zone for Duke.
Tom, I've been talking about it. You see the Duke fans reacting. Daniel Jones is not considered a runner by most of the teams that come in to play Duke or play Duke on the road. But his ability to take off has proven out all day today here in the first half, and just his ability to take off. Just tremendous job of running with the ball.
61 yards for Daniel Jones, and the jaunt to the house for Duke. So that will end the first half. The punctuation mark from Daniel Jones. How about between these two teams, Dave? 768 total yards, 61 of them on the run by Daniel Jones to close out the first half, and a 35-28 lead for the Duke Blue Devils. What a first half for the victory bell.
If you like offensive football, you came to the right place. These two teams are lighting up the scoreboard.
Daniel Jones accounted for 4 touchdowns, 3 passing and 1 rushing in the first half for Duke, which goes to the locker room with the lead 35-28 here on Raycom Sports, celebrating 35 years of ACC football as we go down to Larisha.
Coach, offensively, your guys handling business, especially on the passing game. Are you pleased with what they've done so far?
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones has been terrific. That's the obvious. But our offensive front is probably deserves more credit than people might think right now. We're very depleted on defense, and it's gotten worse. We've had a couple of injuries to add to where we've been in the secondary today. So we've got a lot to talk about. We've got to figure out how to slow North Carolina down.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
As you can see, Duke right now has the lead. A big battle here for the victory bell. Duke is up, 35-28. Back to you guys in the studio. Katie, Tom. Thanks. Coach, the ground game working in your favor. Your evaluation of what's been done so far.
Offensively, we're moving the ball on the ground, which is we said we needed to be able to do that consistently to win this football game. Defense, we got to get off the field on 3rd down.
Thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you.
Larisha, thank you. Larry Fedora's team trailing the Duke Blue Devils, and Daniel Jones, who ran for that touchdown at the end of the first half. 35-28 before we kick it off in the 3rd quarter. Here's our principal financial second half game plan.
Well, it's certainly going to point to one of these teams trying to find to stop the run. For North Carolina, they've got to corral Daniel Jones. 113 yards in the first half, a career-high run of the football in just the first half, including a 61-yard touchdown run. And for Duke, they've got to get North Carolina's edge run game taken care of. 272 yards rushing for the Tar Heels. Somehow Duke has got to set that edge and turn those runners back inside to where Duke's tacklers are.
The 272 yards rushing for North Carolina in the first half is a season high for an entire game. Deion Jackson, the return here in the 3rd quarter, just beyond the 15-yard line for Deion Jackson, a return of 16 yards.
Take a look at the scoring. We talked about it. It's just been unbelievable how many scoring drives these two teams have put together back and forth. Now, the impetus now is going to be on North Carolina. They're down a score, and Duke's got the football. So a big moment here in the second half. As we look at all that scoring, North Carolina going to have to make a play defensively to kind of get their offense back on the field so they can hold serve and put points on the board.
Around the edge is Jackson and out of bounds.
What's happened with North Carolina, Tom, is they're either dropping 8 into coverage or they're crowding the line of scrimmage. So if you miss a tackle like that right there, there's nobody in the back end. As soon as Deion Jackson clears, now it's just a safety who has to make a shoestring tackle to keep him from going the distance.
18 yards on the previous play for Jackson. This one will be much less for Deion Jackson. 2 yards ran into Jalen Dalton, senior from Clemens, North Carolina. 6'6", 300 pounds. 2.5 sacks on the season for Dalton.
Both these teams are so beat up on the defensive side of the ball, they have had to go deep into their rosters.
Jones, incomplete. Daniel Helm.
Give Cole Holton credit here. Let's see if we get any heat. Let's see if North Carolina's able to heat up Jones at all on the play. It's a RPO, run pass option. No, pretty clean pocket for Jones. He ends up getting batted down a little bit late, but Cole Holcomb, the linebacker, number 36, does just enough at the back end of the route to kind of blur the vision of Helm on the catch.
3rd down for Duke, call it 3rd and 8. Jones had to get rid of it quickly. Catch is made. Jonathan Lloyd near the 42-yard line and a first down.
What a grab by Lloyd. Now Jones is going to get hammered here. For some reason, nobody blocks anybody up front, and Jones gets crushed on the play. But the catch by Lloyd, look at the contested catch by Lloyd on 3rd down to extend the drive. Big time play.
4th catch of the game for Jonathan Lloyd. It yields a first down for Duke. Jones throws on the run and right into the breadbasket of the receiver, Daniel Helm.
We've seen Jones play a lot of football, Tom. We've seen him play at a high level. We've seen him struggle from time to time. Saw him throw 5 interceptions a couple years ago or last year against Virginia. I think he's as sharp as I've ever seen him. He's really seeing the game extremely well. He's throwing the ball quickly. He's seeing coverage. Doing an outstanding job of distributing the ball.
On 2nd and 6. It's his man again. Chris Taylor got away and down to the 22 of the ball. Coming out at the end of the play. North Carolina thinks it has the football, and it does. Tar Heel football on the fumble.
Well, Chris Taylor steps out of the tackle of it looked like Bell the corner, and then got a little lackadaisical with ball security as Malik Carney comes up with a football. Huge moment right here for North Carolina in the rivalry game. The Heels will have it when we come back.
Malik Carney made the play defensively. 4th forced fumble for Malik Carney. Our 1st and 10 line brought to you by Dish. Switch to Dish to get every major Division I college football game. Malik Carney, who returned a fumble 20 yards last week against Georgia Tech for a touchdown, the 1st defensive TD of the season for North Carolina, and it's Carter on the run.
Well, he's missed a good number of games. It's just his 6th game on the year, Tom, and Malik Carney, and he's a factor every time he plays. That's a next level player right there. He has a knack for getting to the quarterback, knack for getting the ball out. Made a big play right there when North Carolina needed it biggest.
Leads the team in sacks this season, 5.5 for Carney. Made a big play defensively. We'll see what Nathan Elliott and the offense can do with it. Elliott, too high. For more on Malik Carney, we go down to the sidelines and Larisha Harris.
Yeah, Tom, as you stated, he did have that big play, and getting after the ball is something that he worked on this year to help him evolve as a player. Carney told me that a wise man once told him the good players make the ordinary tackles, get the ordinary sacks, but the great players go after the ball, and that's exactly what he did to get that forced fumble.
A wise man, huh? That was wise information there.
And he said, I don't care about the North Carolina record. The job is to maintain possession of the bell, and they will hold on 3rd down. Elliott had to throw it away.
Yeah, did a good job against the run. We talked about one of our principal keys coming back was to turn the run game back to the inside. They did that on the first run of this series, forced 3rd and long, and then a little bit of pressure forces Elliott out of the pocket. He has to throw it away. So maybe Duke's best defensive series of the game right there.
3rd 3 and out of the game for North Carolina. Hunter Lent back on the field. TJ Ramming counts his teammates, and he's ready to go for the return as he stands at his own 39-yard line. Lent just got it away. Ramming wants the fair catch, and he makes a tough one at the 42. The punt was 27 yards. There is no return. And we're back after a word from your local ACC station. See Jalen Dalton getting to that North Carolina sidelines. This is Daniel Jones, an effective runner today. Daniel Jones to the 30. Daniel Jones running to the end zone. Did he get there? He did. Touchdown Duke and Daniel Jones.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm going to give the guy credit that deserves credit on this deal. I talked to who does an unbelievable. Art Chase does an amazing job as the SID here at Duke. And he said, you know, the one thing that people don't talk about Daniel Jones enough about is his ability to run with the football. Does he get in? I'm just going to give him, I'm going to let him have it on merit. I mean, that was a heck of an effort. It looks like he's down prior to getting in. Looks like maybe the knee's down at the 1-yard line.
The runner's knee was down at the 2-yard line. The ball in possession. 1st down at the 2.
So the 2-yard line is going to be the mark for Daniel Jones. That close to another TD.
That's a classic zone read play. You're going to get the zone read off the motion right here, and then he's going to pull it because he sees a huge crease through the middle. And so you've got to make this play if you're the safety right here. But Jones is just completely baffled North Carolina with his speed. They're completely underestimating and coming at the wrong angle to take the quarterback away. It looks like we have Quentin Harris. Yeah, Quentin Harris is coming at quarterback.
Harris, who threw a touchdown pass in the win against Miami on a little jump pass play from close yardage about this range. Harris walking into the end zone, basically untouched. Jones with the long 68-yard run, and Harris finishes it off from 2 yards out for Duke.
Jones came in with 141 yards rushing on the year. for the whole season. I mean, he's gone past that and then some today in just 3 quarters of football. 188 yards on the ground for Daniel Jones. Oh, by the way, he's thrown 3 touchdown passes today, too.
Wareham for the extra point.
It's been an unbelievable performance so far today by Daniel Jones, and he's not done. I mean, this game's far from over. It's a 14-point game, but we still got a minute 42 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 178 yards rushing today, 510 total yards.
Newsome on the return, right around the vicinity of the 20-yard line. They'll mark him at the 22 for Daz Newsome of the 2nd quarter. What an afternoon for the young man from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Charlotte Latin High School. See if North Carolina can respond. Michael Carter on the carry.
Well, you almost come to the point now, if you're Larry Fedora, is you've got to keep your offense on the field. I mean, short of something stupid where you're deep in your own territory and having to go for it on 4th and long, you've got to think about your offense being in 4-down territory virtually the entire field, because your defense having a tough time limiting what Daniel Jones is going to do.
Elliott was out as a receiver on the edge. Direct snap to Carter.
No face mask. Looked like he got his face mask, but no call. Officials were looking at it. Take a look at this play in the back end. See Ben Humphries calling the defense, trying to get lined up, and then Humphries is the guy that's going to step in the hole, beat the block of the tight end. Yep, got him around the shoulder pad. Good play by the senior linebacker. And just for good measure, made sure, hey, stay down there.
Yeah, the call relayed from co-defensive coordinator Matt Guerreri, who makes the calls on game day, along with Ben Albert, the co-defensive coordinators under David Cutcliffe. They swing it out to Brown. Sharp angle cut, 25-yard line, and up to the 30, but short of the first down marker. 7 yards on the play, and watch the clock. We're down to 18, 17, 16 seconds to go in the period.
Now, North Carolina's made a couple plays defensively, but just have not been able to take advantage of it. Certainly the play the last series where North Carolina's defense provided a short field opportunity and Duke stopped them. Well, we talked about this as a rivalry game, and Duke is holding serve, and their quarterback is playing off the charts right now.
So right as we were going to break before the start of the 4th, both teams kind of hopping around on the field, getting juiced up for the 4th quarter. We saw 9 touchdowns in the first half, just 1 in the 3rd quarter, and it was a short TD run for Duke. It was Quentin Harris, the backup quarterback, took it in. That's ramming with the fair catch at the 25-yard line. 178 yards rushing for Daniel Jones, and a touchdown on the ground, 3 passing TDs. That went near the 34-yard line. Phil Johnson, number 85 with the catch.
This tells you David Cutcliffe and Zach Roper and their offensive brain trust how important Daniel Jones is to them. They're trying to run the clock out, and they're in an empty set. There's no backs back here, so no run threat at all. They're going to let Daniel Jones distribute the football.
Try the other side near the 39-yard line. Deion Jackson just short of the first down marker at the 41. So Daniel Jones, our Chevy performance of the game, brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, and why not?
Yeah, I think it's certainly apropos for him. He's been outstanding today.
Guess who has the football? Daniel Jones, first down, Duke.
Yeah, and what we don't have included in those total yards is how many times he's run for a first down and extended the drive. I think that's about 7 or 8 on the day where he's run for first down. So once again, the ball in Daniel Jones' hands. Again, empty set. You're running the clock out here if you're Duke. But he's going to throw the quick balls to the outside. He's got to be careful of a DB squatting on the route now.
He's got the career high in rushing today. That pass deflected. Malik Carney deflected it. A diving attempt by Holcomb, but incomplete.
Trying to get the ball out quick. This is the quick game. Turn the edge rusher loose, and boy, Cole Holcomb almost ended up with the ball. Now, so what Daniel Jones has got to guard against are these corners squatting on the routes on the outside, meaning not backpedaling out and jumping the quick throws.
618 yards of total offense today for the Duke Blue Devils. Lloyd, patience, 49-yard line.
Did a good job on that. Patience was a great call, Tom. Waiting for his center, Zach Harmon, to help him in the tunnel screen, trying to build him a little punt return, a little mini punt return, get a couple of guys out in front of him, screen pass to that slot receiver. And what this does, that's just an extension of the run game in David Cutcliffe's mind, is we're going to run clock here. And that's why you see now they're controlling the clock from the sideline. The play coming in a little bit later, clock already down, play clock already down to 10 seconds.
Daniel Jones up to 543 yards of total offense. Trying to add to it. Sidesteps one man, then pulled down by Holcomb right near the 50. Crosses over into North Carolina territory.
It's safe to say Daniel Jones is going to sleep pretty good tonight. I mean, he has been the guy that they have leaned on to run the ball, to throw the ball. He's taken some big shots to get the ball down the field to guys with clean rushers in his face. Seen him play a lot of good games, but this is as good a game as I've seen Daniel Jones play. He's played like an all-ACC performer today.
Came up short there on third down, so Austin Parker's in to punt. That total, by the way, of 546 yards for Jones in this game, 5th best in the history of the league. Parker got it away. He hit the turf. Fair catch is made at the 19 by Newsom. No flags on the play.
We saw both offenses explode in the first half, but it's just been a tale of two halves for Larry Fedora's team. And unfortunately for Larry, it's kind of been the tale of the tape all year long for his team. The inconsistencies played outstanding in the first half, trailed by 7 at the half, but just nothing offensively in the second half. Well, I feel for Larry because he's an offensive guy and they've got some talent on it, but they've just been so inconsistent with the quarterback play, taking care of the ball, all those type of things.
Knocked away and nearly picked off Jordan Hayes, a diving play to interrupt the progress of that pass, looking for Ratliff Williams.
Yeah, you start to get a feel as a defender and you kind of sense, okay, slant route, you look at the coverage, you look at the formation, and you jump the route. And excellent job of guessing right there, as Hayes almost came up with a big interception.
About to cross the 4-minute threshold here late in the 4th. Elliott's pass bounces around, picked off. Josh Blackwell to the end zone for Blackwell, and a touchdown Duke. It was Newsom who juggled it. Blackwell grabbed it and took it to the end zone for the Blue Devils.
Well, Newsom, he's going to get Newsom the ball on the shallow drag route right here. That's what coverage gave him. But the ball pops up in the air, and Blackwell with a room service toss up in the air from Newsom. Let's see if the ball ever touches the ground. Yeah, it looked like it touched the ground right there, and he never had control of it. I think this is going to come back, Tom.
We have an incomplete pass. The ball replaced the 30-yard line, 3rd down and 10. Please reset the game clock.
No need to review it.
David, we were talking about David Cutcliffe and his 65 all-time wins. Wallace Wade, for whom the stadium is named, leads the way. Bill Murray with 93. David Cutcliffe with 65. Dave, in the 92 games before he got here, they were 10 and 82. And he's gone 65 and 70.
10 wins
10
in the
and
92
82
games before that. Unbelievable.
And bowl eligible for a 6th time in 7 years this season with their 6-3 record. At the 40, near the first down marker, it's Daz Newsom.
Good kind of deep zone, get the ball to Daz. Cutcliffe, I talked to David before the game, and I said, man, great day, beautiful facilities. He says, I'll tell you this one thing I didn't tell you yesterday. He says, I look out my window, my office, and he says, I don't tell anybody this, but he says, I get tears in my eyes for what's happened here at Duke since I've been here. With all they've built, all the people, he said, all the people that have helped them do this.
This is Elliott, midfield. Looks like Newsom again. And that's 9 yards as Hayes made the play.
And one last, just one last thing about Cut. He's one of the greatest people to talk to you can ever talk. He'll talk to you. He could talk to you for an hour and not talk football at all. Just talk about life and things that he likes and takes care of and all that kind of stuff. But the people, he always gives people all the credit for what's happened here. And yes, there are other people that deserve credit. A.D. White Kevin White's done an amazing job of driving the ship, and Cut will be the first guy to point that out. But that guy right there has as much to do with it as anybody here at Duke.
Won the Pinstripe Bowl in 2015 in overtime against Indiana, Dave, at Yankee Stadium. The first bowl win for this program since 1961. Miami did not score against this Duke defense in the second half last week. They've shut out North Carolina so far in the second half. But that pass over the middle near the 32-yard line is good for a first down. 7 yards on the play to Carl Tucker. Exclusive tickets to the 2018 Dr. Pepper ACC Football Championship game on sale now. Purchase a 4-pack, receive 4 $5 Bojangles gift cards and 4 ACC hats. Reserve your 4-pack today. Also enter to win a luxury suite for 10 at the acc.com/sweetlife. Down inside the 10-yard line with a jump ball, and the pass is incomplete.
Just couldn't quite reel it in. Bo Corrales on the fade route or the deep route there. High points the ball, 6'3" wide receiver. Goes to the top of the ladder, squeezes it, just can't quite get it. Blackwell was able to get the right hand in there and rip it out.
35-28 was our halftime score. We've had one scoring play in the second half. Daniel Jones had a long run to set up a 2-yard run from his backup Quentin Harris, and that has been the scoring in the second half, as that is Anthony Ratliff-Williams for 8.
Good to see him back in the game, Tom. We saw him limp to the sideline, back out there. A lot of pride on both these teams. Talked to Larry Fedora about his team and the circumstances they're in from a record standpoint, but there's no quitting these guys. They come to practice every day.
Brown bounces off the initial contact and tries to bring it to the outside. Could be a first down for North Carolina. Duke trying to win 3 in a row and maintain possession of the victory bell. Last time they won 3 in a row in this series, Dave, you have to go back to 1987, 88, and 89.
Had another guy coaching here at that time.
Yes, they did. We mentioned him.
He's pretty good.
Steve Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier.
And they have not won consecutive home games against North Carolina, Dave, since 1951, 53, and 55. This would be consecutive home victories to go along with their win 2 years ago in this rivalry. So a lot of history intertwined with the result of this one today, as Thomas Jackson has the catch.
Well, Carolina trying to hustle now. We're down inside a minute and a half. If they could punch one in the end zone here fairly quickly, they'd have a chance at an onside kick.
Elliott looking to the end zone. It is a touchdown for North Carolina as Thomas Jackson pulls it in for the Tar Heels.
It's a well-thrown ball by Elliott. Elliott sees that the defender is caught to the inside. Defender going to be caught to the inside. Elliott sees that and throws it outside. See where the ball's placed? That outside shoulder. Excellent throw. No way Leonard Johnson could get there. The safety, and a good job of squeezing it by Thomas Jackson.
First touchdown of the season receiving for Thomas Jackson. And it is the 9th TD pass of the year from Nathan Elliott as they connect from 13 yards out.
All right, it's your favorite play, Tom.
Thomas Jackson, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Charlotte Country Day. By the way, Dave, total yards in the game combined between the teams, 1,121 yards, 42-35, 1:15 to go.
Well, that's the first drive North Carolina's been able to put together offensively, where they've been able to move the ball. Duke did a good job of limiting them and actually forced them into 5 consecutive punts prior to that drive.
Also the 11th touchdown of our game, second in the second half. Each team has 1. Jones taken by Duke. Jake Bobo.
Well, it's a smart play, Tom. He catches the ball, and you think, oh, keep running with it. That he could be stripped from behind. And that's the way, Cuts team. This is a guy that hasn't been on the field other than special teams all day. Makes the play, and you think, okay, I got a chance to score here. But he realizes, you know what? I'm better off going down right here, securing the ball, and subsequently securing the W. And North Carolina can burn all 3 timeouts, so.
Just a yard.
30-second timeout, North Carolina.
So Duke trying to finish this one off against North Carolina. Next up, it is the Clemson Tigers. They haven't played them since 2012, and they lost that year 56-20. They've lost 4 in a row against the Tigers, and they close it out at home against Wake Forest. So a couple of home games for the Tar Heels. They'll play Western Carolina out of the Southern Conference, and then NC State to wrap up the regular season with another rivalry against the Pack.
Yeah, and you hear Larry Fedora talk about it, and it's another big game on his docket as far as trying to take care of business against the Wolfpack. But North Carolina now, they've got 2 more timeouts. They potentially will see the ball again here. Just have to take care of business defensively.
The winner gets the bell. Right now it's on the Duke side of the football field. That'll be Jackson. Tackled by Patrice Renee, and a timeout.
And both teams just 1 touchdown in the second half after the offensive explosion in the first half.
Now that run that set up the Quentin Harris TD from 2 yards out was 68 yards by Daniel Jones. Also, the rushing TD at the end of the second quarter was 61 yards for Daniel Jones. And he wants to carry here. Not much for Jones, and the timeout taken. It is the last one for North Carolina as Jones ran into Ross and Carney.
Now remember, you've had a field goal blocked. If you're David Cutcliffe, do you kick a field goal to seal the game, or do you run the ball again and give North Carolina the ball back? So he's going to keep his offense on the field here.
As you mentioned, Dave, a field goal attempt blocked for Duke. Tamon Fox on the block.
Now Cutcliffe, Daniel Jones has been extremely sharp today throwing the ball. You say, well, why would you throw the ball? Well, the clock's going to stop on the turn of possession anyway. So it opens up the door for Zach Roper to give Daniel Jones an opportunity to throw the ball down the field. And you got press coverage on the outside. Up top.
Jones has attempted 53 passes on the day. Here's number 54 to that front corner of the end zone. And was that intercepted? Miles Dorn came up with the football. And it is an interception for Miles Dorn. 53 seconds on the clock.
But I like the call. Remember, the clock's going to stop on the change of possession anyway. So take a shot down the field. Looks like that Patrice Renee might have gotten away with holding on to Lloyd there, but a good play by Dorn, playing the football all the way. Clearly gets the interception and clearly went through the end zone. And so North Carolina's got the ball on the 20, 53 seconds left.
So that's the 3rd turnover. They all belong to North Carolina, but they have not scored on the 2 previous turnovers in this game.
Now Duke's going to want the ball tackled. Just tackle the ball inbounds to get the clock to move. Elliott's got to understand that.
No timeouts as they go over the middle. This is Daz Newsome fighting for the 40-yard line, and the clock will stop as they set the chains. Blackwell on the tackle, 20 yards on the play.
Yeah, you don't want to give up that big a chunk. You don't mind the ball being caught in bounds, but not for 20 yards. So you're going to have to tighten up in the interior.
Elliott now, this one up near midfield. That is Ratliff Williams, and Blackwell keeps him in bounds. Clock continues to roll. 27, 26.
That's the danger of throwing the ball short of the sticks for Elliott. He's got to push the ball beyond the sticks with the throw.
2nd down for North Carolina. And just beyond their own 48-yard line. Elliott throws it over the middle. It's complete inside the 40. Stiff arm from Newsome and pulled down. 39-yard line.
You got to kill the clock if you're Elliott. You got to kill the clock right here. It's got to be a clock play.
8 seconds.
Still took him too long. Wow, it took him 4 seconds to kill the clock. So now he's got one play. He's got one play now, and Elliott's got enough arm. You're at the 39-yard line to hang this in the end zone. So this will be a jump ball situation. And now if you're North Carolina, you're going to get some big receivers in the game. So Cade Fortin's coming in the game at quarterback, and Elliott's coming out. Cade Fortin with a big arm. They put the quarterback in that they think can get the ball to the end zone. The freshman comes in at quarterback.
24 attempts on the season with 6 seconds to go for the freshman quarterback. Fortin pressured, got away, lets it fly to the end zone. Incomplete. And the victory bell will stay in Durham as Feimster knocked it to the turf. Duke wins it 42-35 over North Carolina.
Well, a heck of a performance by Duke, certainly in the second half. Just go up, high point the ball, knock it to the ground, and go get the victory bell.
It came down to the final play, with Trayvon McSwain and Duke keeping the bell for the third straight year, 42-35. For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out the ACC.com. Join us for the ACC Blitz, powered by the all-new 2019 Ram 1500 next Saturday at noon, followed by number 14 NC State at Louisville. You've been watching coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.